Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Wife cheated on me 5 times with 5 different guys over the past 3 years. I made a suicide attempt, and now she wants to tell the kids it's mutual. Advice. TLDR, wife cheated on me 5 times with 5 different guys over the past 3 years. I made a suicide attempt, and now she wants to tell the kids it's mutual. And now, to fill in some blanks for you. If we rewind the clock to the heady old year of 2015, that was the year that I was afflicted with mystery nerve pain that ultimately caused me to quit my job and go on disability. I lived on disability for 3 years, becoming increasingly isolated and depressed. I withdrew from my wife and kids and basically only woke up each day to eat and play video games. It took a toll on my wife, who had to handle the majority of the housework and kid wrangling. Eventually, her personality began to change, and it came out that she was exchanging inappropriate texts with a male friend. My depression was so bad at the time I finally went to the doctor to ask for meds. As it turned out, the med they put me on worked for the nerve pain and the depression. It seemed like a miracle cure, and life got better as I was able to get back to work and help out more with the house and kids. Fast forward to the current day. And my wife is telling me she has no feelings for me anymore and wants a divorce. What happened, you say? Well, in the past 3 years, she has cheated on me 5 separate times with 5 separate guys. Why the duck am I still in this marriage, you say? Well, we have 2 beautiful kids, I'm a forgiving person, and each time I was led to believe that we could potentially work it out. Until this time, when apparently we can't. Each time one of the previous incidents occurred, I would basically halt my life and rearrange everything to accommodate my wife and attempt to make her happy. My depression was so bad and my meds were so screwed up that this time I made a suicide attempt with pills. I spent a week in the psych ward at the hospital and got things corrected, but now I have all the divorce stuff we are working through. We are basically on the same page with everything except she wants to tell the kids that we are breaking up mutually, when the reality is that she is done with the marriage and wants to end it. All I want to do is tell the kids that mommy doesn't want to be married to daddy anymore. Is that so crazy? Shouldn't the kids at least be told some of the truth? Stand your ground on this. She needs to take some responsibility. This will be a slippery slope because as the kids get older they will want more information. She then will be able to turn your kids against you as she feeds them more false information. She is the one who broke your vows, who chose to seek attention from other men. The truth is you are in denial. Your marriage has been over for a long time. Cheated with 5 separate men and you stayed with her. She has no respect for you. The best thing for you and the children is a divorce. Will telling the kids this is all on mom help them feel better, or just you? After they are grown, it would be okay to tell them what she has done, but really, why do you want to stay in this marriage? Unhappy parents raise unhappy children. You should want this divorce more than she does. Respect yourself, then decide what is best for the kids as their parent, not a revengeful bits per second. I appreciate this, and I'm learning in therapy that my low self-worth has kept me in this marriage far longer than I should have been. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I went through this about 3 years ago. In the end you need 2 people to want to work on the marriage, and that's what I told my kids. Later I told them that you can't be married and have a boyfriend too. We agreed what to tell them, and at the end she pulled the whole "we shit," same as what yours is doing. The reality of this is that she's going to do whatever she thinks will make her look best. She's not concerned about the best interests of your kids unless it happens to align with her image management. Stop listening to your ex-W. She's not your friend, she doesn't have your best interest in mind, and she will continue to lie and manipulate you if given the chance. She is on the other side of a negotiation now. Treat her accordingly. Don't lie to your kids. Don't editorialize by calling her names, but don't lie. They need a sane, stable parent who they can trust going forward. Right now it feels really dark and you may not have much hope, but what I can tell you is that it's better on the other side. A really great resource for me was a book called Leave a Cheater, Gain a Life. There is also a blog, www.chumplady.com. I feel like that book and the blog saved my life. She has a really good section explaining how to talk to your kids too. Take care, bud. Wow, the first post on that blog just perfectly summed up all of the bullshit she has been feeding me for years. Thanks for the tip. I am so sorry, brother. I hope you've been getting therapy at the very least. Try looking for a betrayal trauma specialist. Check your inbox, I'm sending some resources. How old are the kids? She might twist it into parental alienation if you're too straightforward. If they're young, I think something along the lines of mommy broke a super important promise she was supposed to keep with daddy, and mommy and daddy can't stay together anymore because of it. We both love you very much, and it'll just be 2 happy homes instead of 1 from now on. Should be fine. Yes, I'm finally getting some much needed therapy to talk things out. Since there was always the hope of reconciliation, I have kept most of this stuff bottled up over these last few years. Feelings of unworthiness, jealousy, and getting through hell. Need support. Thank you to everyone who commented on my first post. I read all the comments and many of them were very helpful and supportive, and very blunt about the reality that I find myself in. I've dealt with low self-worth and feelings of unworthiness for as long as I can remember, which is part of why I tried to make this marriage work for so long, despite the cheating. Now that things are actually coming to an end, and the potential of me having to re-enter the dating market, I find myself to be increasingly jealous of how my WS was able to find other APs so easily. She's a beautiful woman, and she used that to her advantage. I'm a balding, overweight 40-year-old who still doesn't know what he wants to do with the rest of his life. I realize that trying to find another partner should be the last thing on my mind, but the fact that she has all these options for companionship post-marriage and I'm starting from square one really pisses me off. I think you sell yourself short, mate. You're a man who has shown that he is loyal, has integrity and can commit. That is incredibly attractive to the right person. Don't mistake her ability to easily find a man that wants to put his you-know-what in her you-know-where as anything of value. They're a dime a dozen and easy to find no matter how conventionally attractive you think someone is. A real man who can commit, genuinely love a partner and stick to his values, well, that's going to be much harder for her to find. She won't learn this for many years, but don't be jealous of her. I'd feel sorry for her. You have so much more going for you than what your body looks like. It's such a small part of love and attraction. Trust me, I grew up with a million women raising me, and a real connection, sense of humor, treating someone with care, and genuine friendship will beat Brad Pitt looks any day. Trust me, sense of humor is a big one. I know so many women that love a bald head. Your self-esteem is terrible because of your ex, but now you are free of her, you can literally be anyone you want to be. Just do some small things each day that make you feel attractive, do some exercise, start a skincare routine, get some new clothes, make some new friends, try a new hobby, get creative. It's just one step at a time, and in a year or so you won't recognize yourself. I believe in you, mate. Hugs. Thanks for this. Incredibly thoughtful and I needed to hear it. If you are on the fence about leaving your wayward spouse, do it. You'll save yourself so much grief down the road. Rant. I've seen quite a few posts where it was blatantly obvious that someone should start the divorce process, but were still on the fence for whatever reason. From my own personal experience, if the WS is not 200% invested in reconciliation, if there's even a hint that they could return to their wayward ways, you're doomed to failure. The statistics don't lie about marriages who suffer infidelity having a very low success rate of only 16%. Don't try to beat those odds if your WS has not completely abandoned the AP and made every effort to be accommodating to reconcile. I wish someone could have traveled back in time and told me up front that every time I tried to save the marriage it would result in more pain and suffering. Kids are resilient, they will recover as long as you are there for them. Looking back, it was obvious that my spouse was only half in it, at best. She still wanted contact with the AP while they broke it off. But if you're not attacking the root cause of the infidelity, it just festers until it breaks out again. Please, if you're in this same position, learn from my mistakes. Turn your bullshit radar up to 11. Don't be swayed by promises that can be easily broken. If you don't see actual effort from your spouse to really change, call it off right then and there. Don't let yourself get burned over and over until they just leave. I hope I can convince at least one person out there to take back their life and move on. While I agree with you 100%, I also realize that it's so much easier for us to see the truth in what you posted from the outside than it is when someone is living it. This is exactly why I advocate reading books on psychopathology rather than infidelity. The reconciliation cabal have cornered the market and skewed the reality of infidelity. What we have to do is determine whether we are making a sound decision to attempt reconciliation, or whether we are dealing with sociopathic, psychopathic or narcissistic individuals who will only hurt us again and again. I know it's hard, but it must be done in order to give ourselves a better chance of a happier future. From the outside, hearing about infidelity is like watching a horror movie full of tropes. No. Don't go that way. No, don't go down that dark alley. Don't open that door. Don't go in that building. Don't stop and try to use your phone. You don't have service. It is so obvious for others, but when you yourself are in the midst of it, human nature is to keep following the script, so to speak. That is so true, and that's why I made the post, to hopefully help someone see things objectively. I would also say words are meaningless in that situation. If your partner isn't with you making you feel wanted and helping your emotions, then they are just mad they got caught. You have to be strong for yourself. Trying to save a toxic or dead relationship is only a drain on your emotional reserves. Your cheating spouse will use it as a way to resent you for being weak, or forcing them to you because of children. Not that it never works, it's just rare, and hoping to be in the tiny fraction where you can forgive and forget totally. Yeah, most aren't like that. Very well said. Thank you. Your post reminds me what my dad said. You are number one and you must act and behave as one. I argued a lot with him as I said my kids were number one. He insisted that I must be number one, and it took about 2 months to realize, and with more days, what he really meant. Then I moved swiftly, that even surprised her. I had my mojo back and she was buggered, flexed bicep. Divorce absolute and no decree nisi. I'm in a much better place with a brilliant relationship with my kids and loved ones. I always say to myself, you are the most important person you know, so love and respect yourself. I still help when I can my ex, as she is in a shitty place after 2 failed relationships and got a strained relationship with the kids. At the end of the day, she is the mother of my kids, so I urge them to be respectful and not pity her. Then again, actions speak louder than words, and she has failed on this front with the kids. Man shrugging. Without my kids knowing, I once paid their fare for flights and hotel, as she couldn't afford to pay all when she took them on holiday, once in 4 years. Man face palming. Dang, you've got a more generous heart than I do. That is admirable. And you are so right. If you're in a codependent relationship, you've lost the ability to love yourself. The only thing that matters is the other person's love. You have to first love yourself before you can love another. Looking back, I don't think I was actually codependent. Perhaps I should have been more assertive and stood my ground on boundaries. I just gave too much leeway, as my mindset was wired to do what was best for the kids. Mine was a mixture of codependency and also wanting what's best for the kids. But ultimately, what is best for them is to see functional relationships and not broken ones. told the kids about the divorce this weekend. Depression hit me hard after. Needs support. I'm 40M, currently in the divorce process with the WS36F. We're in contract on selling our house, and we finally told the kids about what was going to happen. They took it pretty well, all things considered. They have friends with divorced parents, so it wasn't like they had nothing to go on. Anyway, a few days passed and the reality of what is about to happen just hit me like a ton of bricks. Realizing that I'd be responsible for the kids on my own without any help, realizing that the home we shared together would soon be gone, that the dream we once shared is actually disappearing. I'm just incredibly sad about what is about to happen to our family. It was all just too much to handle. I got mad at her all over again for ruining what we had, and for taking away what used to be normal life. On top of all that, I've got some issues going on at work and I might need to find a new job soon. Literally every important part of my life is about to get wrecked. Just looking for a little encouragement to keep my head above water. You can do this, it will be hard but doable. I've had 2 cross-country moves, 4 jobs, euthanized 2 pets, my dad died, my cousin died the same week, and my partner of 20+ years cheated on me, all in the same 2-year span. I'm okay. You will survive, so will your kids. Eventually, you will thrive. Hang in there, we are all rooting for you. Wow. Thanks for the encouragement. You've been through a lot. I'll channel your strength. I'm so sorry, I feel so empathetic about your history. I totally understand you. Realizing all is gone could be hard. Try to spend a lot of time with the kids, take it as an opportunity to get to know them better. What are the ages of your children? 8 and 12. They both took the news well. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.